Well, I knew it was coming. Um, I think when people think of the IMDb Bottom 100, one of the ones they think of is usually Baby Geniuses 2 and Baby Geniuses. And there's some debate which one's worse. I think popular opinion has the sequel as the worst movie. By the way, there are more Baby Geniuses sequels now, made by IMDb Bottom 100 director Sean McNamara, who did Bratz. And I feel like he did another one that I'm blanking on. Oh yeah, Three Ninjas High Noon at Mega Mountain was also him. He's made at least two more Baby Geniuses after two, but in any case, most people consider two the worst one. And I watched two early on, and it is really, really bad. But John Voight is so over the top in that movie that it's almost worth watching to see John Voight hate babies a lot. He really hates babies. Um, but yeah, it's really bad. But for whatever reason, I decided to wait until towards the end to watch Baby Geniuses 1, which is what I'm talking about here. And it might be worse. Like, there are things that are worse in Baby Geniuses 2. Like computer generated stuff and really bad stunt work. And the mouths are like computer enhanced and look really fakey, which they didn't do that in 1. And those things are definitely worse in 2. Some of them are the same, like really bad stunt stuff. But I don't know. 1 is pretty bad. You don't have, apart from having Kathleen Turner and Christopher Lloyd are both hanging in this movie. Unfortunately, Christopher Lloyd honestly should be in it more. He was the closest thing to an entertaining over the top performance. Kathleen Turner gets a whole lot more time, but she's not great. She's sort of I don't know, sort of a sour character, I guess. And I really like her in some things, like War of the Roses. She's great in that. Just alarmingly scary in that movie. And yeah, of course, when I started watching this movie, I just kept thinking of other movies I would rather be watching, starring these actors. But yeah, it doesn't have that over the top somebody that can carry it at times. All of the child actors are horrid, and they have dumb voiceovers, and I hate it. And it's clearly still marketed to, I suppose, like old women, I guess, is sort of the target for this. Or maybe, I just don't feel like children would want to watch babies. I feel like that's more of like an old people thing to watch babies. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is a child movie. In case it's a family movie. But, whew. So, the plot here, I will say the plot is more coherent in this movie. There are two babies that are separated. They're twins, separated at birth, I believe. One is raised in this super laboratory that is creating super, like, genius babies, I guess. I don't know what they're doing to manipulate them to make them super genius babies or whatever. The other one is given to a couple that can't have children, I guess. Although they do have children later. Whatever. So in any case, you've got sort of this, two different raised twins. And then the one in the secret super lab escapes and by chance runs into the twin. And then the super lab security people go and accidentally capture the twin. And then there's this super mix-up. So, yeah. There's a lot to not like about this movie. Like the acting and the writing and the everything. But the plot kind of makes sense, more or less. There's nothing nonsense about the plot. It's straightforward. It gets there. Like once the mix-up happens, they discover it pretty quick. The security people discover it, and then they realize, oh, I guess this isn't so bad. But then the super genius twin decides to rally together a bunch of children to break in and get them out or something. And ultimately, all the babies work together and win or whatever. But there are some moments in here that are worth noting. For whatever reason, there's an indoor theme park that's a big part of this movie, for reasons I still can't figure out. And it's terrifying. two things in particular were terrifying. There is a giant animatronic remote-controlled baby that looks like it looks like the worst nightmare you can imagine. And at one point, one of the children takes it over and then says baby voices into it, but it says it's super low and terrifying. And there's also a clown that's kind of horrifying, particularly if you're scared of clowns, I guess. Yeah, lots of shenanigans happen. Of course there's going to be shenanigans in this movie, but yeah, at one point they're distracting, I guess, all of the evil people and use all of these animatronics and whatnot to do so while they're escaping. I think is what's happening at that point. But yeah, there's a lot of nothing. Like, I will say this wasn't boring at any point. It was just really stupid. It's a very dumb movie that I don't like. It wasn't fun to sit through. I'm trying to think of what else to say about this. I really can't stand child actors anyway. Baby actors are so much worse. I will say better than Baby Geniuses 2 in the aspect that in Baby Geniuses 2 they actually like CGI the mouth to try and like fit words. In this they're clearly just telling the child, just move your mouth, I guess. Just move your mouth and we'll try to make it look right. So, I mean, I guess that it works more or less. At least, whatever. But it's still just, nobody cared about making this movie. Clearly they didn't care. I'm blanking on anything else to say. Christopher Lloyd, it's always kind of nice to see him in movies. I do wish he was in it more. Who the hell else is interesting in this? Not really. Kathleen Turner is sort of the big bad in this. Yeah, I don't know anything about the babies. The babies definitely take up most of the time in this. Oh, there's also a really weird thing where apparently all babies are geniuses before they turn 2. They know every language, can understand every language, and all the silly baby talk is actually like their own language. Whatever. But when they turn 2, it all fades away and they forget everything. So there's actually some really weird moments where like the babies start turning like at 2, they start, what do they call it, fading away or something like that, and they just forget everything. Like they essentially die. They die and become a new creature, like, which is a standard human. And like you've got these babies basically facing mortality because everything that they are and everything that they know is going away, and they essentially become something entirely different, which is weird. It's just so weird. Yeah, I don't know. I can actually probably recommend Baby Geniuses 2 for how dumb it is and how bad the effects are, and for Jon Voight. I don't think I can recommend this one in the same way. Because it's not enough. There's not enough stupid happening. There's a lot, but none of it's really entertaining. Like, this is worth looking up some clips of to see the giant, horrifying animatronic baby. But overall, this is pretty, like, it's lower key, I guess, is the difference. Which makes it harder to sit through and harder to enjoy. Boy, this could have used a whole lot of Jon Voight. Like, Jon Voight could have done, like, if anybody had committed the same way and taken a large enough role like that in this movie, it might have been saved, at least from an unintentionally bad point of view. As it is, it's sort of, it's the pedestal that Baby Geniuses 2 can sit on. Yeah, Baby Geniuses isn't so good. It's not so good. So I either don't recommend it or lightly recommend it. Sort of on the fence there. Baby Geniuses.
They may look innocent,
Sprang a leak.
but if you think babies don't know what's going on,
Be the light wrench. I'm the devil.
they're going to give you an education.
What we hear is baby talk
Tit Tat and Sushi.
is actually conversation.
Don't have a cow, Basil. Your syntax is atrocious. It's because he watches television all the time.
We just don't understand them.
And if Dr. Kinder has her way, Their genius will be her claim to fame.
Every child will be educated in the Kinder method.
Either you're with her or with us.
This is Dr. Kender we're talking about, not Dr. Frankenstein.
Decide.
Let's kick butt!
He's out.
TriStar Pictures presents
We're gonna train.
We're going on a train! Yeah!
the story of what can happen when babies know too much, speak too well,
I gotta get a disguise. Yeah. Yo, yo, yo. Smoking.
and get a little too big for their diapers.
Get the baby!
Whoa, you the one, baby!
Get ready. Naps are history.
I don't know what you're feeding that kid, but we're gonna get some.
Kathleen Turner, Christopher Lloyd, Kim Cattrall, and Ally McBeal's Peter McNichol. Baby geniuses.
Have you said Dada yet?
Nah, that's so stupid.
Say it, you'll go nuts.
Okay. Dada!